Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Grid Vision, broadcasting live tonight the Spartan Sim Racing League Truck Series, coming to you live via iRacing. I am Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth tonight by Curtis White and down in the truck by Taylor Burris. Curtis, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, Joe. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you, my friend. Look at it, it's a beautiful day. Here we are in Miami. I went to the ocean and enjoyed Florida things, and now I'm here enjoying a race with my friends, and we're yet again at Homestead-Miami. I was just recently calling a race here, so it feels good to be back, actually. Tell us a little bit about Homestead-Miami, why don't you?
It is one of those tracks to where every lane can be a fast lane, whether it's running the bottom, just saving tires, or going up right up against the wall, inches away from it, or even in the middle. There's never a shortage of options to getting around this place.
All right, and with that lack of a shortage of options, our racers tonight at the SSRL are going to be taking it around 85 laps total, with one break around the 35 lap mark. We're going to get our flag for a quick stop, but then it's going to be straight on 50 more laps after that. Not necessarily the longest race, but it's going to be a good one. Let's see, we have picks for tonight. Can we do those yet? I don't think we have. All right, let's talk a little bit about who you think might take tonight's race. Are you familiar with the SSRL roster there?
I'm not. I'm looking through the roster right now. We have a lot of people here. It's going to be very busy race, and that's going to be making things a lot exciting for sure.
Go with your gut.
I'm just going to go with the low-hanging fruit and pick the guy that's on the pole, because I don't know any of these people. I'm picking the number 78 machine. He seemed like he's got a pretty good pulse around this place. I might pick him.
All right, the 78 of Ben Stevens up there at the top. You know what? I am going to say, the way I've seen him drive the last couple of races, Chad Ginningsman has driven so hard. That's Chad Ginningsman. He'll be in the 97 there as marked. He's in the third place spot tonight. He's a hard driver, and usually I see him qualify well and then or qualify around the middle and charge his way up, but let's see what happens. And Taylor, who are you picking tonight? The 22 machine. Fuge. Good. That's Dave Fuge. Dave Fuge qualifying a little further down.
Way further down.
Yeah, he's in the 30th slot tonight, so not too bad overall. Let's just get the weather on screen really quick before we go to the grid. We're going to get things going here very, very soon, folks, as we get this called. Homestead-Miami looking good, 82 degrees in the air, 110 on the track, mamma mia. That's going to be a scorcher and definitely going to bring the tires into play. And we'll keep an eye on how things go tires-wise as the guys go around and around and around. But let's go to the grid now that we have it on screen here, and we'll break it down. Oh, it's not quite available yet. Yeah, let's bring up the keys to the race, actually. The grid's going to be a second, the keys to the race, though. So, Curtis, why don't you tell us what would be your first key to racing at Homestead-Miami?
Well, one of the main keys is just the high line's always the best way to go when it comes to conserving your tires here. Just the way you gotta attack this place is to not really attack it, because Homestead's a cheese grater when it comes to tires. So the best way is just to kind of take it easy a little bit early on, and then let the truck kind of come back to you in the long run.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just gotta call an audible. Don't be afraid to change your pit calls, because sometimes the plan you come into a race, usually it's not the plan you end up sticking with, because there's so many different variables that could play into how this race plays out, to where you have to go off script and do something completely different. And also late race cautions. We see this a lot, especially at Homestead, where curveballs get thrown that bunches the field back up. That's where the aggression is at its highest, is when everyone's bunched up together and tire saving is completely out the window. It's time to get a dash for the finish, so be ready for that.
Absolutely. Those last two kind of go together, don't they? Definitely, when there's so many weird variables at play, and you could have a yellow flag late in the game that throws off everything you've been planning up to that point. It really does change things. And with only 85 laps, we're going to have guys really jumping and champing at the bit to prove themselves in that late game stage with nice fresh tires and full fuel tanks. Here comes Yeah, we'll take a look. Chad Genningsman's out right now in the 97. Let me take a quick look over at a few of the guys on the warm-up lap here and just see how things are going with their line. In the Cincinnati machine. There he is. Nice even line. Who else? Who's that right behind him? I think that's Hunter Hughes. No. Sorry, I got my cameras. There we go. We got guys on Dave's View
Rob
Jr.
Yost in the number 83, right behind him.
Dave View is an amazing racer to watch. Keep an eye on that. Rob Yost also.
Trucks out here. A lot of them are running the lower line, and I know the top lane's kind of the best way to get around Homestead. The place that I always feel is most comfortable is to hug the white line, personally, because you can never go wrong. I think the bottom lane, personally, is a good place to save tires. I don't know how it is for these trucks, but you can definitely save your race truck running the inside. It might not be the fastest way around, but it's definitely the safest, because if you push too hard on the outside, that wall will grab it and bite you.
That's what I always get worried about. When I get behind the wheel and I get too close to the wall, I get worried that the wind or something is just going to suck me right in, and then that's all my plans dashed. Any amount of speed that I'm saving out there, you really got to know your vehicle. You got to know its dimensions, and it always makes me think about guys. Charles Avery, I think he's got his own face on his truck now. Or he's got the what page is it?
I gotta look at this.
It always makes me think about these guys who are sim racing and the way that we sim race. So many different setups, ways to view things, fields of view. Some guys in VR, some guys not in VR. And we all, instead of everybody being in the same truck that's the same size, now we've got different setups and ways to see it. It's really a dance out there trying to make things work out sometimes. And the fact that we can do it at all on the service is really a testament to what we got going on right now in the world of sim racing. It's pretty incredible.
It's definitely a dance, and I definitely wouldn't call it a slow jam, as Jean Girard from Talladega Nights would say.
Not a slow jam, no. It is not a slow jam. And now I think we've got the starting grid finally ready. Let's kick this off already. Pole position goes to Benjamin Stevens, and then on the outside it's going to be Cody Porter. Third place, Chad Genningsman. Fourth, Kyle Westwood. Fifth, that's Kevin Martin. Sixth, Hunter Hughes. Seventh, Brandon Barrier. Eighth, Tom Ringer. Ninth, Brian Britt. And 10th, Heath Snyder. Take it away.
All right, row number 6, you got the 17 of Art Nicotera and Evan Ethel. This is the part where I'm trying to learn to pronounce these names for the first time. Row 7, you got the number 6 of Gabriel Ande and Andrew Kotska, Colton Gardner, and Scott Schroeder. And then you got Jay Salmon, Jason Kratke, Charles Aber in the 07, and the Robbie Yost in the number 83.
All right, after Rob Yost, it's Jordan Sailors in the 21st position, Gary Donnellan in 22nd, James Staples, 23rd, Ryan Jalek, 24th, Brian Alfin, 25th, Drew Prohl, 26th, Sean Stevens, 27th, Christopher Fugue, 28th, Todd Parent, 29th, Dave Fugue Jr., 30th, and Joseph Tucker in 31st. To round out the grid. Love that chopper view as all of our cars get lined up. Here comes the tower for you all to follow along at home. And be sure to send us some chat in the YouTube to interact with folks if you're watching tonight. Always love hearing from the fans and folks watching. Get your opinion on the action tonight here on SSRL via Grid Vision.
You let me know how much of a terrible job I'm doing. I'll take it.
That's right. I really want to know what a terrible job Curtis is doing. More than anything, that's why I'm here. I'm here to judge. I'm here to judge, and I'm here to
I'm here to
criticize.
make you look good.
Well, guess what's looking good to me? The car is coming down now, getting ready for the green flag. Green flag is now waving, I believe, and everybody is hitting the gas. We are go on Grid Vision. Nice steady launch out of Cody Porter right now. He's got the lead by a nose from Ben Stevens coming around the corner. Everybody's spreading out a little bit as we got a couple of two-wide situations going all the way back. No one's really figured out where they want to be yet, so we've still got things still a little bit mixed up. Cody Porter, though, taking a clean lead with Ben Stevens holding on tight in second place.
This is the time where you start to figure out where do you want to run.
And yeah, absolutely. And there's a battle going on, I believe, right now. The 69, Kevin Martin, he was able to slide in one position up right now. He's in fourth, excuse me, moving himself up just a little bit. A little further back, we were talking about that outside line, right? And there's somebody out there. That's Brian Britt flying high on the outside line in the Search.com vehicle. Let's see what happens again as we go here into 3 and 4. This back stretch on Miami is always so fun with the palm trees. Into 3 and 4, there's 2 wide behind Brian Britt. That's Tom Ringer and Evan Ethel. Britt down to the inside now, no longer using that outside line, or at least not in 3 and 4. We'll see if he goes back to it during 1 and 2. Oh, wait, we've got some smoke on the track. Jason Kratke. Let's take a look at Kratke here. I think Kratke might be off the track, but we are still green flying, folks. That was a single car infield wreck. Things are still flying. I don't know. Maybe we have time for a replay on that. But I want to keep our eye on the green flag action this early into the race. We're only on lap 3. Kratke. Yeah, Kratke now in the 54 able to get back on the road. Here's the replay. Whammy. Just a quick door slam. He's down to the inside. Keeps it off the wall. What a foot on the brake, pops it into R, throws it back into D, and he's in the race again. So Kratke's moved all the way down to the bottom of the road here, but hopefully he'll be able to come back. Back in the action, let's see what's going on here at the front. Things have strung out a little bit as Cody Porter is being followed closely by Ben Stevens. Chad Genningsman still in third there. The front hasn't really shuffled around too much, aside from Cody Porter taking the lead and Kevin Martin taking fourth. All the way down the track to barrier, we've got everybody exactly where they started the race. Only when you get to Heath Snyder and Evan Ethel, things get more interesting.
They're side by side back here for 9th position. Evan Ethel has been making the bottom lane work. I saw him get around the number 9 machine. And now he's got, looks like Tom Ringer. That is the number 9, actually. But he's getting passed by the number 6. Gabriel, he's going to go to his inside, but he's been trying to get around the number 5 of Brian Britt for the last couple of laps now. See him run way low to the bottom off turn 4. It's going to hurt him on exit speed. 5 trucks going to be able to hold on to the position.
That's a good eye. We're seeing that happen almost every time now. Down to the inside once again goes Ethel, trying his best. He keeps that yellow line, but Britt throwing the tail out just a little bit. Still able to keep the speed, and Ethel cannot make it. Can't even get the quarter panel quite there to get that competition. Ooh, Britt now with the block. He sees it. I think he can see the whites of his opponent's eyes, and now he's trying to make sure that Ethel knows that he knows that he's not going to win.
Just trying to cover all bases. Don't leave too big of a lane open.
It's a smart move. You know what I'd say? I'd say give him enough rope to hang himself in this situation. Let him burn up his tires going back and forth. Let him try to play defensive games. But now Britt is into the back of the car ahead. That's Heath Snyder. Snyder losing a little bit of speed, enough to give Britt a challenge. That challenge is going to give Ethel a position he might need. Up at the front right now, things are strung out. It's Porter, Stevens, and Genningsman for your 1, 2, 3. Back a little ways. Snyder is still the king of this 2 wide situation that is happening. We've got 2 rows now forming a little bit. Snyder kind of apathetic to the formation of those rows, so he's not going to get involved. On the inside, it's Evan Ethel. Also down in there, it was Gabriel Andy, I believe, in the 6th machine. And at one point, I think that's Scott Schroeder, who's tucked in there now.
Andy's now moved to the outside this time, so you realize that that's where the speed's at. But that is number 74, Scott Schroeder, that white and green truck. He's trying to make the inside lane work as he's got to his right side for number 9 Tom Ringer. Got a little bit of room to clear back up. Just squeeze in right between him and the 6. See if he goes to the bottom again. He does, but the 9 does as well. He's abandoned the top. He's going to go back to the inside. Right behind Evan Ethel on the 38.
Absolutely. A lot of speed coming out of Tom Ringer there in that 9 machine. Just a little bit of tail action. Just enough to see that he is throwing him down the throttle as he comes out of these turns. Ethel's still trying to make a move on Britt. Britt into the wall. He's eating wall now for a second. That's going to be it for Brian Britt's momentum. Ethel takes the pass that's been handed to him on a silver platter.
Didn't seem to hurt him too bad. He's back to the outside. He's just a bit of truck width off the wall. He's not trying to audition to be the next Tyler Reddick yet. It's too early for that, but he's giving himself a good enough cushion to where he's able to utilize the speed that's up there, but he's not too close to it.
Right.
It's just something these truck drivers got to be careful of.
Not time to send it yet. Here now, as things are definitely calming down a little bit. We're crossing into the double digits. We're on lap 11 of 85. Remember, folks, at 35, we're going to get our only planned yellow of the day. Then we're going to have a nice sprint from that point. A 50-lap sprint, I should say. A nice charge from that point, 50 laps over to 85, and that'll be the end of the race. So by that point, we'll see how the strategies that are building now end up playing out. Those strategies are use the high line or use the low line. That really seems to be the 1-2 punch right now. And the folks who are using both, well, I'm not really sure how much they're getting done, but it looks like the guys that are using the low line and have stuck to it, some of the guys in the front of the pack here, Cody Porter, Brad Stevens, these guys are getting stuff done.
Yeah,
they're getting positions and holding on to it.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt there, but that has been the popular line at the front. This big breakaway at the front of the field, most of those trucks have been pretty comfortable hugging the inside lane right up against the white line on the bottom. There have been a couple of outliers that have been experimenting on the middle groove to complete outside, and that's been the 53 of Brendan Barrier. As he's looking to go middle here. The 69.92 might have exchanged bumpers a little bit. The 53 is going to swing to the outside of him.
Yeah, that weight transfer really killing him.
69 tried to clear him, but he just couldn't get to him in time. The 53 is even with him into turn number 1. This could be a pass in the making from the 53 a barrier. The other truck behind him, he is in the 18. There's another truck that's also been playing around with the outside. Oh, we got one in the wall.
Barrier trying hard right now to make that pass. I think he might be working the vehicle a little bit too hard personally, because every time he gets that move on the outside, there's no one there to help him. The air is not going to help him move any faster. And then if he loses that weight, if he transfers weight during that turn at all to the outside of that turn, he is never getting back in. He's got to tuck it in and stay on. There he goes. Tucks it right in. Now let's see if he stays there. He does jump back out on most of these exits. You're right. As soon as he gets a little bit squirrely about hitting someone's bumper, he throws it up to the middle lane. But that hasn't really been helping him too much. Now he's got some help there. The 97 on the outside.
53 loose off turn 4.
Barrier. I thought maybe that Chad Gendingsman in the 97 was going to help him out a little bit, but it looks like he might just be psyching him out a little bit.
Hughes looked like he was about ready to pounce on the 53, who's going to go to the outside of the 97. Off turn number 2. Oh, and he's in the wall big time.
Giving him
reeled in all these other
space.
trucks.
Yeah,
Eve Snyder has caught it, and so has the 38 of Evan Ethel. And yeah.
Oh my goodness
space
gracious.
At a premium.
Deary. What a bump. What a bump. And that's going to cost him. That's going to send him back a little bit. Evan Ethel falling only back to 9th. He's still 3 places up, though. So, hey, 3 wide right now. The 29 down on the inside with the 25.
Using the middle. Heath Snyder was on the inside of that. He tucks back in line, just barely right in front of the 38.
This is a venomous little pack right now. These guys are really trying to look for any advantage they've got over each other, but Homestead is not giving it to them because the cars aren't really committing. There's not really a 2-column commitment here. It's a 1 column, and if you are ignoring the column, you're not making any places up. That seems to be what's happening. A little squirrely there. Woo! Fast down to the inside. Whoa. There. Who's losing positions? Is that Jordan Sailors? Might have been. Falling back a couple positions, somebody lost control a little bit down to the inside, and 3 wide yet again out of the 53 and 29. These guys have been really wanting to put it 3 wide most of the night. They've been finding themselves there in turns. Miami just wide enough to allow that to happen. It's a 1.5 miles with 18 to 20 degree progressive banking turns. And just enough grooves to keep you there.
Now we're starting to, whoa, the 29.
Yeah.
Listen, now behind the 97. Beginning's
very close.
But now we're starting to get to the point in the run where, you know, the tires are really falling off. The pace is falling off from what it started. Like, I think the track temp is actually cooled down from what we started with.
I think you're probably right. Now, let's keep in mind that the race is going to have its first stage in 5 laps. And with that being said, let's look at the top people, because Ben Stevens is currently leading the race. It looks like Cody Porter and actually fell back a little bit. Now there's a couple car lengths, about a half second between Cody Porter and Ben Stevens.
Trouble.
So Cody Porter's got a bit up to make.
We got trucks on pit road, but the 5 of Brian Britt spun it on entry.
Oh no. That's not going to help him try to win any points with the officials. I'm going to get a quick replay here. The grid vision cameras going back in time and showing us Brian Britt throwing it in. Late for the pit. At that point, I'd say he might have wanted to start slowing down a little earlier.
Yeah, that's the tough thing is if you brake just a little too late, you kind of get into a bit of a panic, and you jam on the brakes a little hard, and
lock right up.
You lock up the rear brakes, and it slides it around. I've done it too many times.
Oh, man. Well, here we are back in the race now. Up at the front, that's the 78 of Ben Stevens. He's taking the race away, and then Kyle Westwood right behind him. Cody Porter, what's happening to you? Cody Porter was leading the race for a little while, driving hard, and now he's fallen back to third, 1 place down from where he started the race, switching with Westwood. I really thought that he might have been able to take it all the way 25 laps, but really tough to lead 25 laps when you're out there on your own, being the only one pushing through the air and scrubbing up those tires down on the low line. It's definitely something that we love to see, you know, that ambition. But at the same time, we want to see it work out. And for Cody Porter, unfortunately, it looks like it might not be. 23 of 85 right now. Spartan Sim Racing League's Homestead-Miami, 4th race of the series tonight. 4th race of the season, I should say, tonight. Ooh, into the wall. That's a 38. Is that Evan Ethel? Unfortunately, again, a little bit more into the wall. It's the second time we've seen that. Or at least the second time the grid vision cameras have caught it tonight.
That's a phrase we're probably going to get tired of saying as the run progresses, as the race continues to.
Oh,
as the race
first name,
continues
last
to
name into the wall.
Or just anyone in the field. They're going to be seeing a lot of trucks at the wall from here to the checker. They're far from done.
You're absolutely right, especially coming out of 3 and 4. In 4, you can really throw a lot of energy out of turn 4 in this track. And if you do and you're not ready for it, you're going to eat that wall. Here's lap 25. Pretty soon after the 10th car passes it. Oh, we got 10 more laps until 35, which the first one is going to be at. So we have 10 laps to go. Sorry, my mathematics are all screwed up. I left them at the door today when I was going to be calling races. Only room for truck in here. Truck go vroom, vroom, vroom fast. That's how my brain works right now. Eyes on the 47. Kotska is down a lap right now, trying to get up to the lead lap. He's got freshies, so he's going to be working his way up a little bit, bit by bit by bit. So if there was somebody to keep your eye on right now, it might be him. We got a few other drivers actually pitting in ahead of the stage Jordan Sailors, Gabriel Andy, and Christopher Fugue all pitting in now to try to get some fresh tires themselves ahead of the stage break, taking advantage of the fact that they've got enough to do it in this relatively short race.
And you're able to see just the speed difference alone between new and old tires, even if it's just 25 laps or even not even that. Like the 47's able to run like a full second, if not more, faster than the trucks that haven't pitted yet.
Absolutely, 2 seconds faster. And in fact, his last lap was a 33.8, so he's 2 seconds ahead of anybody ahead of him in terms of speed.
The truck he's about to get around, his last lap was a 35.5.
So eyes on Kotska, our resident Canuck, moving his way up the ladder. There he goes. Let's see it. Maybe a big pass out of him. No, he's coming around. Here we go. Eyes on. What's the situation here? This is the lead situation right now. Ben Stevens and Kyle Westwood chugging it out. Slugging it out. 78 on the outside. Just slides away. Gives it to Westwood. Westwood moves up. What did I say about Kyle Westwood? I said he's a Charger. Kevin Martin now actually diving into the pit. Okay, Westwood's got a chance here to drive a little bit further and maybe put a bit of a lead on before he takes his pit opportunity. Behind him right now, that's Scott Schroeder. Schroeder, not yet pit either. He's 5 seconds back, however, so he's got a little bit of a gap there. I think it's a good idea. Stretch it out as far as you can in this situation. We were wrong.
he heard us say it was a good idea, and he said, "No, they're wrong." Oh,
he said, "If Grid Vision says it's a good idea, then I better pit right now." That's probably the first thing that went through his head.
Well, they're still out there right now. Just big pace difference between him and the trucks that just got off pit road.
Absolutely right. As Chad Genningsman takes the lead in tonight's race. 4 laps left until the stage now. I got my timing right. Genningsman. He's only about a second ahead of Schroeder right now. But Schroeder is going to the pits. Genningsman's staying out. Schroeder's pitting. Prohl's pitting. We got Snyder out. Porter out. Donnellan still out. 3.75 seconds behind. He's currently getting the squeeze from Heath Snyder a little bit. Snyder falling back now. Brian Britt behind him, I believe. Not Brian Britt. Who was that? In blue. Got Tom Ringer heading down pit road. Still at the front. Genningsman's holding on. Zoom, the number 6 car goes by. That's Gabriel Andy on his fresh tires. He's trying to work his way back up to the lead lap as well. Genningsman holding tight to the lead as the number 1 car now, Jordan Sailors, comes on by. Sailors now returning to the lead lap. That leaves Robert Yost as the next one on the chopping block. He's in 12th right now, so currently only 11 cars on the lead lap in the middle of this race. 3 laps to go. And once that 10th car crosses the start-finish line, that will be the end of stage 1 officially. Very good. So we're going to see if Jordan Sailors can hold on to that position or if he ends up losing it to Kevin Martin. Right now, Sailors holding on. That'll be our top 10. Martin just now getting back onto the lead lap himself. But still, it's going to be the top 10 who get the points here. 34 of 85. We're going to keep it at the front of the race for a little bit just to see that start-finish line moment here. Chad Genningsman leading the race into 35. Heath Snyder behind him by 10 seconds. Evan Ethel also 10 seconds back. They're neck and neck, about a half a second apart. Genningsman in the lead, leading up a pack of cars behind him that are all sorting themselves out. We got guys all over the racetrack right now, about a lap behind. Going into 3 and 4 now. Oh, right behind him is the lucky dog battle there. Genningsman just ahead of the gentlemen who are trying to figure out who's going to get to a flying around. And it looks like it might be Rob Yost. Rob Yost is going to be your lucky dog tonight. Genningsman, Chad Genningsman, taking the stage break win, getting those points banked for himself. Chad Genningsman, let's do a quick breakdown of who's the leads in this race right now as we hit to this stage break. Chad Genningsman in the 97 is your current leader. Heath Snyder in the 29 is in second. Evan Ethel in the 38 is your third, and Cody Porter, Andrew Kotska round out the top 5. So now that the cars get a chance to stretch their legs, why don't you go ahead and take a chance and stretch yours? Grid Vision's going to take a little break and talk about our sponsors. You take a break yourself, and we'll see you on the other side. We'll be right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Grid Vision, broadcasting the Spartan Sim Racing League to you live through the magic of iRacing. I am Joe LaCastro, joined in the booth by Curtis White, Taylor Burris in the truck, and we're bringing you the middle of a stage break right now. We're on lap 39 of 85. Just went 35 laps where we saw Chad Genningsman cross the line as your leader of tonight's race. Right now, it's him and Heath Snyder with Evan Ethel, Cole Porter, and Kyle Westwood up at the front. There goes the pace car. He's away. We're about to get to the zone. The green flag has waved, and Chad Genningsman has dropped the hammer. We are back in the race. Go, go, go yet again.
Just leaving him gone. What a restart by Chad.
Just an absolute bullet out of the gun. Heath Snyder now on the outside with Evan Ethel now down on the inside. Ethel's been on the inside most of the night trying to make it work for himself, but he hasn't really had the support of anybody else on the track to make it work. Now we can see that's happening a second time as he loses 2 places, going down to 4th. It looks like there might be a little more support for him, though. Yeah, not yet. He's still kind of by himself in this middle line. Not really going to the wall, not really diving all the way down. There we go, down to the yellow line. That's it. That's what I was looking for. I want to see Evan Ethel make a few more really deliberate decisions here to try to drive a little more aggressively, because I think he's got the speed, but it just feels like he's getting hung out to dry a little bit tonight. Kyle Westwood right behind him, looking to make the pass. Westwood on the outside. He's got the speed on the high line. Very close to the wall now, throwing the back out a little bitty bit. Getting loose on the exit's a good sign of speed.
He's going to give Westwood all the room. He's going to get around him on the outside. I'm actually going to keep an eye on this number 92. He seemed like he had really good long run pace in that first stage. He was able to run down our leader, who at the time was the 78 of Ben Stevens. So I'm curious to see what's even tonight bring in the second stage. So he got himself around the 38.
We're going to find out. He is around the 38. Behind him, we've got even more hullabaloo going on. Andrew Kotsko leading a pack of guys right now, just beginning to sort themselves out. Ben Stevens, our old pole sitter, he's in the middle of that pack, unfortunately. But fell back a few positions. He's holding off a 3-wide situation, though. It looks like he's going to fall in between 2 cars here of Jordan Sailors and Dave Few Jr. Yep. Ooh, on the outside, Few tastes the wall just enough that he doesn't put it 3 wide. Keeps his speed, though. A little bit of danger. They're not quite on the corner panel. Few sliding in behind Sailors now, or behind Ben Stevens now. Sailors on the outside is going to lose that speed.
It almost looked like he was going to set up Stevens out of 4, and looked like they were going to still be 3 wide, but smartly decided to back out of it. Because he saw the 78 was going to slide up, as Sailors now slides up in front of him in the number 1. So 22 is going to peek out of line. Oh, the one's in the wall on entry. And that's an area on the track that can really bite you, is the entry, is where the wall, the safer barrier wall, starts to stick out on the entry of the turns, especially in turn 3. Easy spot to make a mistake and hit the wall, as the one truck just did right there.
Right now, I'm looking back a little bit further. Colton Garner in the 21 versus Kevin Martin. Colton's been getting a little bit loose coming off of some of these turns here. He just had a really bad fishtail moment that I thought was going to cost him. It didn't. Now I see him driving a little bit more conservatively. Maybe no. He's getting ready to throw it around. Can't make the move.
Boy.
Can't make the move. Almost ends up losing it instead. He's down to the inside. He's playing it cool yet again. Losing positions in the process, but still driving the truck. Whew. Colton's got a little bit of a hot wheel right now, and I think that, yeah, it's just cost him position after position right now, as he's down to 11th. He still is up 4 from where he started, though, so you know that he's got the head on his shoulders to take positions back if he wants to.
I think he's got to remind himself that, knowing that he has the pace to run up into the top 10. Just a little mishap here on this restart. Just need to kind of get yourself back in the game mentally and try to regroup here. That was almost a really close call between him and I think it was the 69. I can't remember who it was, but that was a really close call into turn 3 between the 2 of them. So
absolutely
regroup here.
Very, very true. As Ben Stevens moves back to the outside, there's a few gaps forming now. The most prominent gap that we really think about is the one at the very front of the race. Let's take a quick look at Chad Genningsman. He's got he's got 1.4 seconds on Heath Snyder. 1.4 seconds between them, and then Heath Snyder's got It looks like a little bit less than a second on Cody Porter, but there's a few gaps forming here and there up at the front of the pack here. And that's a interesting situation to see play out. One yellow changes everything. And all it's going to take is a few of these 2 wide, 3 wide battles to go poorly, and we're going to see the whole strategy change here tonight.
And this is exactly why restarts are so important, because that's where you got to take everything you can, so that way you're in a good position when the field gets to the point where it's spread out like it is right now. Especially if you're the leader in the 97, who just took it and ran with it. He's already up to a second and a half on Heath Snyder in 29.
He is, and that's only going to work out for him more as this race goes on if things proceed the way that they have been. Here we go. Oh, 2 cars side by side. A little bit further back. I think that was the 55, or the 53, excuse me. Brandon Barrier, he's spun around. Barrier's around.
Jason Kratke in the 54. And there's Barrier, who we were just talking about earlier.
Both of them there. Let's take a little look-see on the grid vision cameras. The 54 and the 53. Oof. And then came back in to get another slice. That's rough. Taps the nose into the inside wall, comes careening back out, tries to stay in the race. Sometimes you gotta just take your licks, man. Let's see that from his point of view if we could. We got a yellow flag out now. The cars are circling up. If I could see that from Brandon Barrier's point of view, I want to see how in control of the car it looked like he was from inside the car. Okay, that's all right. When he hits, see, at that point, I would say I'm not in control of the car, but it may look like he might have thought he was. You know, he turned the wheel to the right, car goes to the right. I'm going to get back on the racetrack, but he probably needed a lot more lead-up room, like a slower, gentler curve back into the racetrack than the direct line that he tried to draw, which was probably just an accident considering that he wasn't really in control of the speed of his vehicle at that time.
And it's just an unfortunate moment, especially for Christopher Fuge in the number 68, who was probably, in his mind, wasn't even thinking that that was even going to happen. Because he's focusing on the trucks he's racing. You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't. It's a jump scare. I mean, that's all it is. Like, the 68's just minding his own business. He's running his own race. He's racing the trucks around him. And next thing you know, there's a rear bumper of a truck that's just sliding right in his path. Just boom.
5 nights at Barriers. Didn't check the left door.
One of the worst ways to end your race is something that is completely out of your control, something you have no anticipation for.
Let's take a look at the race off pit road because it has resulted in a new race leader, Heath Snyder. Heath Snyder has won the race off pit road now. Chad Genningsman is going to be half step behind here as we get lined back up to restart. 51 out of 85 right now at Homestead-Miami. Beautiful day, couple clouds in the sky. After this, I think it's going to be margaritas.
Thankfully, we got the... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go right ahead, my friend.
I was going to say, it's a good thing we got the good kind of Florida weather.
Good, yes. iRacing does not yet simulate actual Florida weather, and for that, we thank them.
There is such thing as too realistic.
Although I bet it's probably, let's see, it was 110 on the track when we started. My bet is that it's still exactly 110. We'll get the weather flashed up for a second there while we're going around here. Let's see what the track temperature currently is.
I've been keeping an eye on it, and it's been kind of going down since the race started.
It's getting later in the evening. The partly cloudy is definitely keeping things a little more on the tepid side, but as it goes down and things cool off, there is a sort of inverse graph of the cooler it is, the easier it is on the tires. So we'll see how that helps everybody out. It might let people go a little bit longer than they might have thought they were going to be able to.
One guy who really didn't want that caution to come out was Chad Genningsman. He had the advantage over the entire field since that restart, and it's completely not only evaporated, but now the lead's been taken from him because it was a very close race off pit road between him and Heath Snyder. Snyder was actually able to get the best out of him on pit road, so now he gets to control this next restart.
That's right. That's right. So let's see what happens as the speaking of restarts, we're about to have one here because the lights are off on the pit car. And we're getting lined up in 2 columns, getting ready for the race to start again. 53 out of 85. We got about 32 laps to go in tonight's race, folks. Good to have you here on Grid Vision. Beautiful Homestead-Miami, current home of the Spartan Sim Racing League, and us bringing you live iRacing. Coming around 3 and 4. Getting itchy ankles, ready to drop some hammers. Zoom goes the zip car, the pace car, excuse me, the zip car. And we are go yet again on Grid Vision. Launch out of Heath Snyder is okay, not as commanding as we saw earlier out of some other launchers from the restart. Chad Genningsman specifically had a great launch in the last restart. And Genningsman now is holding on to 3rd, while Cody Porter on the outside in the 97, Cody Porter on the inside in the 4, gives him just enough space to stay competitive with Heath Snyder.
A bit of a slip up though, a little bit by Snyder as Genningsman is all over the rear bumper off turn number 4. He's going to push him down the straightaway.
Absolutely. He's going to push him faster into 3 and 4 than he might want to go. And this is where mistakes can be made. You've got a guy behind you who really wants his old position back. If he shoves you through 3 and 4 here, you're going to be carrying speeds unknown. And that's going to be a situation that could leave you in a bad spot. Here comes the 97 now. Big move to the inside. Full car length. Chad Genningsman takes the lead. Yes. What a move. Used the entirety of 3 and 4 to make that move, and now Genningsman's back exactly where he wants to be. Kyle Westman in the 92. He's going to try the exact same maneuver that he just saw his brethren in the 97 make. Can he make it? No, not quite. Into the quarter panel of Heath Slater. Heath Slater. I've been watching too much wrestling. Heath Snyder is into the quarter panel of the 92 Kyle Westwood.
Westwood's also going to be able to get around him off turn number 4. The 29 kind of going backwards since taking the lead on pit road.
Yeah, just not enough speed.
Jordan Sailor's looking to sail on by the 29. See what it did there.
I was hoping you were going to do it. It was there. The pins were all lined up, and you knocked them all down.
Nice. That's going to be another spot lost by the 29. A little bit of a check up there in the middle of 3 and 4.
And it looks like it's his race to lose right now, unfortunately. Now, keep in mind, Slater, I can't remember. Heath Snyder is 6 positions up from where he started. So if he can still hold on to this position into this area of the race at all, he's done his part for the race. You just want to have some improvement. And 6 positions up in the top 10 is beautiful improvement. Not 18 positions up like Jordan Sailor's, but it's still plenty. Yes, wow, how about that, though? 18 positions up for Jordan Sailors. Dave Few Jr., 24 positions up. He's our hardest charger right now of the evening. He's in 6th place. Look at these beautiful trucks all lined up. Except for this few knuckleheads here, throwing it too wide into some of these turns, trying to make a good, statement about how everybody's driving in a straight line. Now we've got the dance beginning yet again. Kotska getting passed clean by Gabriel Andy. Andy onto the inside. It looks like we got a car calling for a pit right now, so keep an eye out for some potential dropping out. Looks like that's going to be Rob Yost dropping out there.
Him along with Tom Ringer in the 9. Hitting as a tandem this lap. Ooh, we got one sideways. I want to see who that was. I think that was the 22. Ooh. Out of turn 2. Dave Fuge had a very close call.
Unfortunate, but it looks like he's still up. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, look at this mess these guys are finding each other in.
That is a fine mess indeed. What a cluster. Dave down to the inside now. Not quite to the line. Behind him, behind him.
Hey, he does it again, and he's around!
The 22's around. Off the racing line, they're going to keep it green. That is just going to be a lesson learned for Dave Few as he comes back out onto the racetrack, trying to get his positions back. Probably going to end up going down pit lane. Another spinner, and that's going to be a next to caution. We got a car backwards. Kevin Martin, Andrew Kotska, I believe, on this one.
Kotska's facing the wrong way.
First thing we're going to see, though, is Dave Fuge.
I was watching that because, like, the lap prior to that, Fuge was already sideways.
Just got sent. We'll see one more angle on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was already sideways before that.
Yep, he was sideways for sure. Now let's go take a look at that yellow flag. Let's see what caused that to come out here.
It was the two trucks that were actually behind the 22 getting sideways, almost getting swept up in that mess. Thinking, oh wait, things could definitely get worse, and in fact they did for both of them.
Did indeed. Here comes the situation. 69 on the 47 now. 47 just going up and collecting the 69. They both go tumbling out with one on the outside of the field, so there's nothing for it but a yellow. And during all of this, Andy stays out. I was about to say, during all of this, Andy has stayed out. His last pit lap was on lap 50. Brian Alphin pit on 50 as well. They're both on 14 lap old tires. Everyone else has taken the opportunity to pit almost. Looks like there's a few other people in the middle there. Tom Ringer, Rob Yost, Brendan Barrier, and Dave Few Jr. Some guys that we had involved in the wreck, and then some other guys have also chosen not to pit yet. However, everybody else who has, they are set up for the end of the race. Barring any more yellows, obviously. Most of our drivers here are in really good shape to carry things out to the end of the situation. After Andy and Alphin, the race order looks pretty familiar. Genningsman, Westwood, Snyder, Sailors. Those are your top 6 right now after Gabriel Andy and Brian Alphin in your first and second positions. Andy on 14 lap old tires is going to have himself a hard time holding any positions. Is probably not going to be able to, is my guess. And if he doesn't decide to pit on the first lap, he's going to have to do so pretty soon if he wants to stay competitive with this for the rest of the race.
His goal is just going to be composure. Just keep the truck under control, keep it out of the way, try to be predictable, try not to burn it up too much, because these trucks that pitted on fresh tires, they will get around him. They might get to him before they even get to turn 1 with how much fall off that there is. So it's an interesting call. It's a tough spot to be in. I wouldn't want to make that call personally, but
I don't blame you.
See how it works out.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I'm up here, not over there.
Well, yeah, I never knew. I knew I was never going to be the fastest driver, but I might have the fastest mouth. So that's why I'm up. That's why we're up in the booth. If cars ran on hot air, I would be Dale Earnhardt. But that's not how it works. As we come around, I think we're going to be getting into the 1 to green situation very soon here. 65 of 85, 20 to go. Not bad. It's been a pretty solid race tonight. A mixture of some good green flag racing. Yep, there we go. 1 to green has officially been thrown. Mixture of green flag racing and a little bit of yellow here and there. We had 2 spins to the inside that didn't result in a yellow, 1 that and 2 that did. So far so good for most of our drivers.
Yeah.
Barring the guys who got wrecked. Looks like Andrew Kotska is going to be out of the race tonight. His truck is out, getting put up in the truck, as they say. That's going to be the same situation for Christopher Fugue and Cody Richardson, who've also left the race. Coming back around. In the lead, it's Gabriel Andy, then Brian Alphin, Chad Kenningsman, Kyle Westwood, and Heath Snyder in your top 5. 20 left. 19 if you're nasty. Here comes the pace car. He's going to be taking the dip. There he goes. Any second now, they're going to enter that restart zone, and Gabriel Andy's going to give it the gas. There he goes. We are go, go, go yet again. And let's see what happens. Gabriel Andy popping things off, absolutely getting dusted by the 97 of Chad Kenningsman, as we kind of expected. Unfortunately, Andy knows the situation. He's moved to the outside, and he's giving a lot of space to the cars on the inside to give him that pass. I think he realizes the situation that he's in. He's in a good place to maybe hold on for a while and end up in the top 15, but he's going to have to pit if he wants to do any better than that. 67.5 here on the outside. Kenningsman, Westwood now in the lead. Both of them trailing past Andy. Brian Alphin has fallen back a number of positions now. He's back in 12th. He started this restart in 2nd. In 1 lap, he fell back 10 positions. Safely, I might add you.
It's been safe for everyone, thankfully. A great job by everyone.
Really good job out here, boys. Good looking restart.
Great job by the 6 truck that we mentioned. Alphin kind of dropping like 10 spots after like the first lap. The 6 truck of Andy, though, he's holding on to much better.
He really is. He's driving a hard bargain up there on the outside line.
Yeah, he's not getting up these spots easy, that's for sure.
It's true. He's going to make the other drivers work with his line. He is on the lead lap, so there's no reason for them not to fight him for the spot. And fight him they do, as Ben Stevens and Jordan Sailors sail on by. To steal a pun from a friend of mine.
I don't know how many races the Sailors guys ran in this league. I'm new to this, so I don't know. If he has, I wonder how many other broadcasters have said the same thing. Like, it's right there for the taking.
I'm sure for him, it's been smooth sailing. Sometimes, though, it must have been choppy water.
He's probably tired of hearing that. Whoa!
Woo! Bit of a swerve. Everybody's happy. Everybody's good here. It's a friendly race.
That was Charles Aber, the 07 truck, the Friends-themed truck. I was actually going to point this truck out. We were looking at it during the warm-up. Because again, that truck, those tires are very upset with him right now. He's just trying to hang on to it.
Absolutely. They're screaming, I'm sure. A nice big hot spot on them. That's a little swerve. Into the outside wall a little bit goes Andy now. He's really losing spots. He's down to 10. As he gets slid past 10. Oh, he's just riding the wall. 9, 8, 7. You just keep counting, folks. Gabriel Andy potentially out of gas. Nope, he's just letting everybody pass him.
Once the truck gets up against the wall, it's a magnet.
Yeah, there was no coming off that wall. I think that he was afraid that if he tried to, he was going to cost him. But really what happened is he was lining up a pit, the last second pit. Because this pit lane here is a very long one, you know. And you can get into it early. It looks like he did. Now, Gabriel Andy finally has pit up at the front. Let's take a look at the battles going on. Kenningsman, 2.5 ahead of Westwood. There's a couple of 2 wides going on, though. One of the best ones back there is the Sailors Stevens 2 wide. That's the battle for 5th. Sailors holding on to it on the outside line. Stevens down on the inside in the 78. He's looking to make a pass. Really hugging that line for a bit and then trying to draw it out, unload the wheel. And once he gets into the bubble from Sailors, It feels like he can get some speed back, but then he's going to break the bubble potentially. No, he's going to hold on to it down to the line as Sailors brings it down in 1 and 2. Or in 3 and 4.
Gardner, the 21 machine. We're at 150, passing another fellow for the number 80. Turn 1, he's going to go to the outside. Try to fight back here.
Let's see if we can do it. 80 on the outside's got the speed.
There you go.
That's Drew Prohl. Haven't heard him too much tonight. Prohl right now, 19 places up in 7th place. What a drive out of Drew Prohl. Centering things up, folks. 10 to go. We're stepping out of the double digits this time. Up there high on the outside. Let's take a look at who are these guys on the outside line trying to make things happen. That's Gary Donnellan in 12. Behind him, Evan Ethel. 78 of Stevens still fighting away. Prohl now looking to make a pass on Stevens. Can he do it? Good speed into the outside, but it's not going to be enough. Geometry said no. Stevens not quite able to get the position he needs on Sailors. Here comes Prohl on Stevens, down to the inside. Prohl hard at the white line. Stevens goes with as well. Super close. Little bit of tail action from Stevens as he holds on to 6th place very tightly.
Yeah, Prohl's definitely going for the hard charger on that segment of the turnover. That was a close call between the two, but they both kept it together. The 80 tried to go for a move that didn't have enough room to make work, but it's close enough where he can afford to try it again. But now you got Stevens getting around Sailor in the 1.
Yeah. Sailors is going to be the new target for Drew Prohl now. Might not last for very long. Prohl's going to give him the squeeze on the outside for a second. Bring it down to keep an eye on him. And make that pass. Holding on to 6th position. Drew Prohl now 20 places up. Back a little ways. It looks like there have been some passes happening on the outside. Hunter Hughes is battling Art Nicotera. Another 2 names we haven't heard too much from this race. Hunter Hughes, nice clean outside line, holding on to it closely. Sean Stevens directly behind him. Nicotera down on the white line, trying to hold on / to make the pass. He's barely going to do it. But he can't quite get to the outside because Hunter Hughes is there.
Trying to keep him honest.
Trying their best. Hughes now, a little bit of a slide. The 17 coming up. Looking for it. Let's see where this goes. 5 laps remain in tonight's race here at Homestead. Current leader, Chad Genningsman. Second, Cody Porter. Keith Snyder in 3rd. What was that? I missed
I
it.
was going to say the battle for second was on the 04 truck. Cody Porter was actually running in 4th last time I looked.
That's true. They're very, very close right now. Snyder 7 positions up is still holding on as well. Porter on the outside, the 29 down on the inside. They're going to meet. Yes, no. Snyder does not have the speed. Porter holding on to 2nd. Almost 2 seconds behind Chad Genningsman. Behind that battle, you got Kyle Westwood, a ways back, but not out of the battle yet. Could still potentially seek that podium position if he can snipe Heath Snyder out from under. He's got the spot waiting for him. 4 laps to go. Cars now down to the inside, and back there, that's Kyle Westwood just trying to drive his line. I think he's looking for a spot, though, on Heath Snyder. Not taking it too aggressive to the situation right now. Might be saving it up for one last push. We're going to find out. As Genningsman sets this up to be in 3 laps remaining territory.
Be a good result for Cody Porter in this 04 truck. He was kind of hanging on, just kind of hitching a ride with the 29 and the 92 in 4th place, and I think he's been in tire conservation mode. And now, right now, it's really starting to show that he's got the better tires right now as he's gotten away from these two. It probably won't be enough to catch the leader. Like, he seems to be a 10th or so stoker, but that 97 is so far ahead of that it's just not going to be enough.
Unfortunately, 2 laps left in the race right now. Genningsman in the lead by a 2-second gap. The race has been a good one. Let's see how things shape up. We've still got a very busy top 10. Drew Prohl, the hardest charger right now, 20 positions up. He's in 6th place. Next hardest charger, Gary Donnellan. He's in 8th. Coming around, looking for the white flag. It's waving. Genningsman crosses the line for the last lap of tonight's race. Ooh, what a good one. Whew. Sends a chill down my spine on a hot Miami day. Here comes the white flag, officially waved. Excuse me, it was officially waved. Here comes the checkered flag. And with grace and aplomb, Chad Genningsman takes the win. Unofficially speaking, let's break down the top 10 just real quick. Genningsman, Porter, Snyder, Westwood, Stevens in your top 5. Prohl, Schroeder, Donnellan, Garner, and Ethel to round it out. Whew! I believe that it might be the first time that my pick actually won a race. Points on the board for Jolo, finally. Let's get a little view of our man here burning it down. The Cincinnati 97 of Chad Genningsman. Writing his name right across the concrete and asphalt with an underscore.
It's a dominant win. He's putting his stamp on it.
It really was. What a restart, too. During that restart, he knew that he was going to get those positions back. He took them back, and he never let go. What a race. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to break down the results tonight here at Homestead. Don't go nowhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, Grid Vision fans. Let's break down the results from tonight's SSRL race at Homestead-Miami. Here is the official results list now that we have it from the officials themselves. Taking a look, first place, Chad Genningsman. Second place, Cody Porter. Third, Heath Snyder. Fourth, Kyle Westwood. Fifth, Benjamin D. Stevens. Sixth, Drew Prohl. Seventh, Scott Schroeder. Eighth, Gary Donnellan. Ninth, Colton Gardner. And 10th, Evan Ethel.
And looking at 11th, Jordan Sailors on the 1 was running around the top 10 most of the night, just kind of slipped out there on the last restart. He'll finish 11th with Charles Abert in the 07, right behind him in 12th. Jason Kratke in the 54 in 13th. Hunter Hughes in 14th. Art Nicotera in the 17 truck finishes in 15th. Sean Stevens in 16th. Joseph Tucker 17th. 18th goes to Brian Britt. 19th to Todd Parent. And Tom Ringer in the number 9 rounds out the top 20.
Finishing things off, 21st, James Staples. 22nd, Brian Alphin. 23rd, Rob Yost Jr. 24th, Brandon Barrier, who had an unfortunate accident there. Kind of brought him down a couple places. He was doing really good all night. 25th, Gabriel Andy. 26th, Dave Fugue Jr. 27th, Kevin Martin. 28th, Andrew Kotska. 29th, Christopher Fugue. 30th, Jay Salmon. And 31st, Ryan Jalik. Phew, what a race. And now we get to talk to some of those racers themselves. We're going to talk to the 1, 2, and 3 positions, starting with number 3, Heath Snyder. Heath Snyder, can you hear us?
I gotcha.
Hey, congratulations on the bronze medal tonight, Heath.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So you had a hell of a race. You were kind of bouncing around all over the place a little bit. There were moments where I saw it looks like you were kind of striking out and trying a strategy that was all your own, and it did pay. Sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. What was toward the end of the race there? What were you trying to do strategy-wise to stay in that podium position?
Well, at the end there wasn't much strategy left. It was just go. But
That's fair.
felt like Cody and I kind of got stuck behind Kyle there, and after we were able to clear him, we were able to pull him a little bit, but I started to get a little tight there at the end and center off. I just wasn't getting the pace I had earlier, and unfortunately Cody and Chad were able to get away at that point.
Yeah, we saw that. That was there was a couple of situations just where you guys were too wide there, battling it out towards the middle or towards the end. You were up 7 places, starting 10th in the middle of the pack. Did you think when qualifying, what was your fear going into the race during qualification?
I suck at hot lapping, so I don't put if I have a bad qualifying run, it is what it is. I don't sweat it.
That's fair.
But in practice, I was getting some good long run averages. I think I put down like the best 10 lap average or something like that, Cody said. So I was feeling pretty comfortable there. Just had to maintain the race and felt like we could get a good finish.
And so you did. Third place ain't bad. Very, very good job. Congratulations yet again. Anybody you want to shout out to or thank tonight?
Yeah, thanks to Cody. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here because he brought a setup that was a lot better than what I was running last week. I thought I was going to have a horrible race. So I'll take that, and all the guys back at ESC as well.
All right. Thank you very much for your time tonight. Hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys. Appreciate the broadcast.
Thank you. Take care. Next up, we're going to get Cody Porter in the booth with Curtis White.
Talking to our second place finisher, Cody Porter. You got a copy, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it looked like you had a pretty good race. Had a really good start, taking the lead away from the pole sitter at the beginning. Kind of lurked around at the top 5 for most of the race and put together a pretty good run in that final stint to get yourself up to second place. So just walk me through how your race went. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I started the race. I didn't know the stage at 31 until about lap 3. I realized when everyone was going way slower than me that I probably needed to back it down. So we started saving fuel really hard, and about halfway through that stage, I realized I could probably make it to the end, so we did, and I think we ended up finishing 3rd or 4th. Trapped half the field a lap down, which was a really good goal, and we ended up getting that goal done, so that was good. And then the rest of the race was just trying to get as far forward as we could without burning too much fuel or too much tires, because this track is very hard on your tires. And then trying to get a long green run, because I know that Chad, me, and Heath probably have the fastest long run car tonight, and I think it showed at the end who did. We had to make some adjustments at the end. My crew chief Johnny made some pretty great adjustments that really set the car up for the long run, and it was really feeling good at the end there.
Seemed like the long run pace of your truck really shined the most on that final stint. We were able to work your way up to second. Generally, you satisfied with second? Do you feel like you got the most out of your race tonight, or do you feel like there was something maybe a little bit more that you could have got out of it?
I think I could have gotten by Chad if we hadn't got that last caution. I think it was around lap 70 that last caution came out, or 65. I do think I could have passed Chad. It wouldn't have been an easy fight by any means. Chad's really fast. But second's okay. This is my first race of the league, so we'll come back next week, come swinging, see what we can get out of it.
It was your first race, then. That was a hell of an impression you made, so congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Very good. And now we're going to talk to the first place winner, Chad Genningsman.
Hello,
Let's
guys.
see, Chad. Can you hear us? There you go, Chad. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I got you guys.
Excellent. Well, congratulations very much on your first place win tonight. Very good job.
Yep, thank you.
Now, I want to just take a quick aside, a moment of personal pride. I've been calling a handful of Gridvasion races now. You are the first person I've ever predicted to win a race who has subsequently won said race and not just crashed and burned completely. So that's a double congratulations. I want to give you for breaking the Gridvision curse on me and taking that victory. You had a hell of a machine tonight. Can you tell us a little bit? Maybe you can spill some secrets about that setup?
I don't know much of a setup, really. I think the big thing was getting out to the front, getting clean air. I think that first run, I kind of picked up pretty early that if it went green, you could make it. And the early you saved, the less time you're going to lose at the end of the run. So I think I started saving pretty early and dropped back. I think Heath and Cody caught on a little bit later, so I kind of got by them with like 5 or 6 to go. And then really, I had a huge gap when I got on pit road, and I pretty much got the lead, and it allowed me to stay out there for stage 2. And I think the way my setup worked, being really good on the short to medium run, the cautions kind of fell right into that range where I didn't like to get to the long run at any point.
I see what you mean. You had some really good restarts where you came out and zoomed your way around the cars that were on older tires, managed to hold on to that lead. Was that your overall strategy going into the race? Get ahead and hold on to the lead with that, and just drive it with the clean air as much as possible. Or what was your strategy going into tonight's race?
Yeah, I think the big thing in stage 1 was to not take a set of tires. So to do that the most efficient would be to not even pit then. So kind of save fuel was the first thing. I didn't know if that would get me the lead. It ended up getting me the lead. So then really once stage 2 started, it was basically burn the tires off for the entire run. And if I lose spots at the end, I lose them. But I didn't really want to be back in traffic now because clean air is so huge, and then just the risk of getting damage and ending the race is not something I want.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And now, of course, is there anybody you would like to thank or shout out to at the end of tonight's race?
Yep, I want to thank Great Legacy Esports and Reaper Speed Lab for the really fast truck. Pretty much ran the stock setup, just adjusted it a little bit for low fuel, so nothing crazy. And then I want to thank you guys for broadcasting, thank all the league admins, and then thank Cody, Heath, and Kyle and Benjamin for a great race.
All right. Thank you very much for your time then, my friend Chad. Congratulations on the gold medal, and we look forward to your performance next week.
Great. Thank you, guys.
All right, folks. Well, from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Tonight, special thanks to Andrew Cardinale, the fourth of Whiplash Sim Cams, for providing the cams we used on today's broadcast. And congratulations again to Chad Genningsman on winning tonight's race from Homestead-Miami. This has been Joe LaCastro, Curtis White, and Taylor Burris. We will see you next time on The Grid.